of my Keratosis Pilaris treatment program. I'm so excited to finally be sharing with you the steps that I have taken to smoother skin, as well as the same steps that many other Keratosis Pilaris sufferers like yourself have also taken with great success. With my experience, I have found that every step in the program is necessary to gain the best results in your skin. If you miss any one of these steps, then you may be reducing the full potential of this program. So with that aside, let's finally get started on the first step to treating your Keratosis Pilaris. In this first step of the Keratosis Pilaris treatment program, I'm going to talk to you about dairy and how it's such a huge trigger to your Keratosis Pilaris. I'm also going to tell you why dairy triggers Keratosis Pilaris in the first place, and we'll also cover how you can go about removing dairy from your diet so that you can begin to see changes in your skin so that you can look forward to smoother, clearer skin. Dairy products are a huge trigger to your Keratosis Pilaris, and you may not even realise it. The consistent intake of dairy products is a big trigger to your Keratosis Pilaris, and is one of the reasons why many of you notice that your Keratosis Pilaris flares up for no reason. This is simply because many of you are not aware that your consumption of dairy is actually triggering your Keratosis Pilaris flare-ups. So how much dairy are you consuming every day? Do you have a glass of cow's milk? Or maybe you like to have yogurt on your breakfast? Or perhaps chocolate and ice cream are your biggest weaknesses and you like to have them as a treat after dinner without fail. Cheese is also another dairy food that is usually consumed on quite a regular basis. Dairy contains a protein called casein, which can lead to an abnormal immune response in those of you who are sensitive to dairy. This is termed food sensitivity, and I found, not just with myself, but with other Keratosis Pilaris sufferers, that we are very prone to dairy sensitivity. So the constant consumption of dairy when you have a food sensitivity can actually lead to inflammation in the digestive system, and this can reduce the absorption of specific nutrients and essential building blocks that are necessary for healthy skin. When your body is sensitive to a food, it's called a food sensitivity, and this is also known as a hidden allergy. This is because it can take up to 3 days for any symptoms to appear from consuming that food that you're sensitive to. For this reason, flare-ups in your Keratosis Pilaris don't actually occur straight away, which is why it can be so difficult to pinpoint what you're eating in your diet that is flaring up your Keratosis Pilaris. What are common symptoms of dairy sensitivity? Hay fever and sinusitis is quite common amongst people that have a dairy sensitivity. This is because there usually is a buildup of mucus in the sinus cavities, and that can lead to sinusitis long term. So usually people that do have hay fever and sinusitis, they find that when they remove dairy from their diet, it completely clears up and relieves their hay fever. Other common symptoms are abdominal cramping, wind, bloating. Also irritable bowel syndrome is commonly associated with a dairy sensitivity. Eczema is another common skin condition that usually diminishes with the removal of dairy products from the diet. So now that you know the first step to the Keratosis Pilaris treatment program, it's now time for you to take action. Look at eliminating dairy from your diet for a minimum of 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, if your Keratosis Pilaris has significantly improved and you're happy with the results, you can look at introducing dairy into your diet. First starting with 1 serve of dairy maybe once a week, and then if your skin doesn't flare up, you can look at introducing it twice a week. I don't really recommend having dairy more than twice a week because usually this is when your Keratosis Pilaris will significantly flare up and you'll have to start the process all over again to train your Keratosis Pilaris, which is really the last thing you want, especially if you put so much hard work into clearing your skin. So usually you'll see a significant change in your skin from removing dairy within 7 to 21 days. This is why it's really good to take before pictures so you can begin to see the difference and the change in your skin when you start looking at removing dairy from your diet. The results are going to vary from each and every one of you, really depending on how severe your keratosis pilaris is, but I really recommend stick at it for a minimum of 8 weeks. In the next video, I'm going to discuss how easy it is to find dairy alternatives. So that's looking at foods that can replace ice cream, cow's milk, yogurt and cheese. So it really isn't too difficult to remove dairy from your diet once you know all of these alternatives. And these alternatives are readily available at your supermarket or health food store. Also, I'm going to look at discussing other food sources of calcium. Because dairy is a primary source of calcium, it's important that you're getting enough calcium from other food sources. So this will be discussed in another video. Okay, that's it for me for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you've learned a lot about how you can go about treating your skin condition from the inside out. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks for watching.